Darn. Good to see you.
No matter what. Well, yeah, so yeah, there's actually...
Okay.
We have someone here that can tell the story of the Sanitarium better than I can. And Mrs. Bingesser, would you come and tell us a little bit about the time at Waconda Springs?
I can hold it. I can hold it. Welcome to the Waconda Springs Sanitarium. Let's sit down here, relax a little. I like to look out and enjoy the view. I like to look out and see the farm. Things are growing there. If we look off, see that mound with the black fence around it? That black fence has been there since 1890. We'll just sit here and relax and get to know each other and decide about your treatment a bit. I'm Dr. Anna Bingesser. I'd been teaching school when my father, Dr. George Abrams, bought all of this. We came here from Mankato. He'd been running a bathhouse there. Before he ever came to America, he was interested in the health benefits from water. One of my earliest memories is of him hitching up the wagon, putting this big tub in it, filling it with water from a Lithia spring well he'd found in one of our pastures in our fields. He said sometimes people are just too busy. They can't come to him for treatment, so he made house calls. But how do you think this place is an amazing phenomena? How was it created? There's lots of stories, shifting layers underneath the ground, extinct hot springs. I like to think about a story from a book written by Margaret Hill McCarter, Peace in the Solomon Valley. The sea forgot the little springs when it withdrew from these plains. I don't know how it began. There's lots of history. We do know that. But I do know that for hundreds of years, Plains Indian tribes came here. They came to this holy ground, the Great Spirit Springs. They loved this place. They thought it gave to them. It gave them better health. It cured they knew it could help cure their illnesses, their diseases, their wounds. Arrows dipped in that water they were going to shoot straighter. So it helped them with their hunting. They came here. They loved it here. It just made their whole lives better. And do you know, they left behind something to thank nature for what it had given them. Around the edge of the spring, sometimes you could find little beads that they had offered as a thank you. Now also, you can choose whether you or not you want to any of the legends connected with the springs. Probably the most famous one is of the lovely Indian Princess Waconda, who fell in love with the brave. He had been shot, mortally wounded, falling into the springs. She dove in after him to join his spirit for eternity. Bottled water's been sold here since 1880 and shipped. They had the train back then to ship it. It was quite a recreational resort. Besides people from this wide area that came, do you know people got on the train and came all the way from Kansas City and Topeka? They came here to Waconda Springs. You wonder why? It was a great time. There was horse racing, there was dancing, there was gambling. Yes, good times. Well, then there was a mysterious death, and that's when we made the change with our family from it being a recreational resort to a health resort. I'd been born just up in Jewell County. My mother, Apollonia, already had 2 little girls. She'd been married first to father's brother, Heinrich. Then I also have 2 brothers, John and Louis. And then they added 2 more sisters, Nettie Francis and a little Tony, who perished in an early in a prairie fire. But soon after we came to the Springs, Carl Bingesser came. He had been from Germany, and in Germany also he appreciated what water could do for a person's health. He immigrated when he was 17 years old, and he ended up serving as a linguist in the Department of Army Intelligence. People are always attracted to come to Waconda Springs. We were married in September of 1908, right inside here, under some of the first electric lights. We had a sumptuous 3-course dinner, left on an extended honeymoon to the east. We had intended to stay in St. Louis. We didn't. Waconda Springs attracted us back. Hydrotherapy, water therapy, has been used for years. It has such good health benefits, especially this water. We will give you hot baths, just as hot a water as you can stand, followed by a quick cool off. Now we pipe the water inside where it is heated. And you will have every day a drink of the Waconda Springs water. We're going to have lots of relaxation for your treatment, fresh air to help your body to heal. You're going to eat good, healthy food. Most of it is either grown, produced right here on our farm, or from the area. We need to think about it. This is the way the first people that lived here took care of their bodies. They ate what the land gave to them. Why not appreciate it and use it and give back by taking care of your own body? Now you're going to have to continue eating and drinking lots of water when you go home. We hope you'll take home some of our special water. We have big jugs, small jugs, and we do ship it, of course, everywhere. Have I mentioned that the water won awards at the 1904 St. Louis Fair? Our way of treatment is a holistic treatment. No medical drugs, surgery, alcohol, little coffee or tea. Our program includes internal cleansing and external cleansing. We have a pretty large staff, usually from 15 to 18, depending on the number of patients we have at the time. we really don't have to advertise too much because word of mouth keeps, a lot of times, all 48 rooms full. There's times we've had to send people over to Cawker City to stay and sleep at the Whitney House because we had all the rooms full. First, we lost Mama. Then in 1924, Father died. That left Dr. Carl and myself here with our family. Our son, Carlos, did some extensive traveling and studying. He came back in 1932 with a degree. With his education, we were able to add his way of treatment and we added his chiropractic skills. We had two beautiful daughters, Gloria and Louise. They worked here. They learned to work. Did you learn to work? I believe all children should learn to work hard, to do their work well. There's no play until the work's done. All of our children love traveling, and I did too. We went to California in 1927. Along the way, I had one thing I insisted on. Every time we came to a reservation, I wanted to stop. I wanted to visit with any of the elders from those tribes who could tell me anything about their elders, the stories that had been passed down that they had known about coming, or stories about Waconda Springs. We're likely to retire ourselves in the future. I want to travel some more, but I want to stay in the area. I think maybe we'll settle in Downs. I have a brother that lives there, and our daughter Louise runs a hotel. I think maybe I can help her teach those young girls how to clean and work and do things well. Carlos and his wife Marjorie can handle the sanitarium. They've been working so hard. They know what to do. They have a growing family. I kind of chuckle at that they've enjoyed finding J names for their children. We have John and Jerry and Jeannie and Joanne and Jay. We're starting to become a bit of a tourist attraction. That's okay. But hopefully, the Waconda Springs Sanitarium will be here and in my family for generations to come. I don't see any reason for it not to. I do hear more rumors again that they're talking about the need for flood control along the Solomon River. And it does flood. But I don't think they would ever put it here because of the Native American history. Now come on, we mustn't tarry much longer. Let's go in and start your treatment, and the first thing you will do is have your drink of Waconda Springs water.
Thank you, Mrs. Bingesser.
A former Bingesser who is here, who lived at Waconda Springs.
You want to point him out?
She doesn't. She's shaking her head no.
Okay.
One of those J names is here.
Okay, here we thank you, Dr. Bingesser. And Dr. Bingesser's, she's being portrayed by Linda Clover. Linda is one of our main staples for Talking Tombstones, and she will be portraying Mrs. Bingesser again at the fair coming up on July 27th, so 26th at 6 o'clock at the fairgrounds. So if you want to see this performance and others, come to the fair and we'll talk more about Waconda Springs. We worked really hard at trying to get some of this information together, and really the Bingessers have helped us a lot. They were the last ones to really manage the springs, and so I really like to thank their family because they kept that history going for so many years. And another thing I want to mention, we talk about the legend of Waconda. That legend has morphed into so many stories we couldn't tell them all today. Every tribe had their own, and then the different developers or the people that lived at the springs kind of evolved the story into different things. So Mrs. Ava Gentleman, who's long gone now, she worked so hard starting in the 20s and 30s and 40s at putting all this kind of early history together. And she needs to be noted because Ava Gentleman put together a little book called Waconda Story, and that was kind of that first one to come out to really tell it. And so some of the imagery and some of the information you see on the panels comes from Mrs. Gentleman. So I'd like to thank the Gentleman family. I think we're kind of concluding the program here, and I'm going to turn it back over to Tyler. And I want to thank everybody for coming out here. And if you're interested in history, hit me up. I'll be here working. We've got several events that the museum's going to be hosting this year. One of the big one that you might be interested in is on August 11th. It'll be looking at the raids of 1868, and we'll be going out to the sites and touring the sites that were so important to the raids of 1868. So get a hold of the museum. Thanks.
That for the most part concludes our program. I just would want to point out the activities that we did line up today, and then the people that did those. Fantastic. A lot of these displays and these activities for kids, I think, really pulls this thing all together. Gail Pearson brought his fossil collection and some other things. I don't want to discount that at all, Gail. I'm not sure what else he brought, honestly. But thank you for coming. I think that's a phenomenal collection you got. And then the little pine cone bird feeder activity we had. If your kids haven't stopped by, or maybe adults, if you want to make a little bird feeder, we got plenty over there. And then Kelsey Adams and Katrina Wilson, thanks for coming and doing the little painting, and then the metal arc, the stamp. Fantastic. I really appreciate that. And then Luke Kramer, our wildlife biologist, was doing the skins and skulls program over there. That's another great thing that it always draws a lot of attention to it. And everybody, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. This is a great crowd. I didn't have very much expectations on who all would come, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. We're going to go ahead and conclude it. We're going to just do a short ribbon cutting over here at the front, and then the building will be back open, and the activities will go on. So feel free to hang around, and appreciate everybody coming out. Thanks.